Welcome to August's book review. I'm being told I have to do this quickly because Pete wants his office, so we better just jump right in and get on with it. So the first book I read this month was Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. Now, I wasn't quite sure what to expect from this book. I sort of thought it was going to be lots of bad dating stories and things, and I thought that could be kind of fun and amusing, and so I've never really done the whole dating thing. An eye-opener for me, but it wasn't quite what I expected. It turned out to be more about friendship love than romantic love, I guess, but I guess that's just the way that Dolly's life has gone, which is maybe not quite the same as mine. So that did make me a little bit sad at times that I don't have that really close group of female friends that others have, that Dolly certainly has, which probably wasn't what she was intending, but that's what I took away from it largely, is that, and this isn't me saying that my friends are rubbish because my friends are great, I just don't have that group of female friends that are always texting, they live around the corner, they see each other like every other day. I don't have that, and that kind of made me feel a bit sad. I also found that Dolly is quite an excessive character, which again is quite far flung from me. She'll drink to excess, she'll do all those kind of things to excess, and it's not always healthy, I didn't feel. So again, that made it kind of hard for me to relate to the stories and stuff that she was writing. Although her accounts were pretty honest and her writing style was very easy to read, it's just not exactly what I'm used to or what I've gone through, so it made it harder for me to relate to it. And that's not to say that it's bad, it's just not, it's not the same kind of things that I have experienced. Throughout the book though, she did mention the concept that she wanted to collect memories, and I guess that's kind of what I like to do. I like to have things planned and in the diary, and for presents I like to give somebody an experience, say a theatre ticket or a this, that or the other, so that there's a memory from it. In fact, my next vlog that's coming out on Sunday, that it's actually got me looking through a box that I keep with loads of my memories, like tokens and tickets and things that relate to my memory. So I really liked that concept that she's doing certain things to collect memories, but the things that she is doing is not the memories that I would want to collect, such as, you know, getting a taxi to the Midlands, which would cost an arm and a leg, and she's doing this at like 2 AM, and it's not the kind of memory that I would personally want to collect. The book was good, I just struggled to relate to it. I think that's what I took away from it. I think she's written a fiction book, I probably won't be reading it. Worth a shout. So the second book I read in August, and I told you about it in July, was another one of those Disney Twisted Tales, and this one is Once Upon a Dream. So, I don't know if you can read that because of the silver writing, but the tagline is, "What if Sleeping Beauty never woke up?" I really liked the idea of that. If Prince Philip kisses her, but that didn't break the spell, that is a concept I can get on board with, because then it's not all about the damsel in distress and normal Disney princess weak thing that always gets portrayed. However, this one wasn't as good as the Beauty and the Beast one that I read last month. I didn't feel that it tied in with the story that I know of Sleeping Beauty well enough. So Sleeping Beauty ends and then this begins, whereas I really liked that in the Beauty and the Beast Twisted Tale where it intermingled, so the bits that I knew were in the book, but there was a bit of background and backstory and extra bits added in, and I think that works a lot better than just having the Disney story or the classic fairy story finish and then you start your thing. That didn't work quite as well for me. I also found it way too long. This does not need to be that length, because it's just so repetitive. There are only so many times that Maleficent can send them a challenge, Aurora, or Aurora Rose in this as she's known, and Philip, and you know they're going to get through it. So there's only so many times they can do that, and they seem to do it about 6 or 7, and that's just far too many. You really didn't need that many. The whole, you know, Aurora's supposed to be the heroine, and you know she's strong and she's going to defeat Maleficent on her own. Liked that, could get on board with that, that she was going to be this like tough, not just waiting for, you know, true love's kiss to break the spell from some man, but that she was going to do something in her own story. But again, it just didn't work. Every time they faced something like this, she'd go, oh, and then someone else would come and actually save the day. There are very few occasions in this book where she actually saves the day. And you could tell I wasn't a big fan of this one. I also found that they didn't quite get the characters right for me. So what I know of Aurora Rose, you know, she sings with animals and she's all floaty and lives with a bunch of fairies. Not that she knows there are a bunch of fairies, but... And then this, she's just so self-deprecating and angsty. It's like, oh, come on. It just wasn't the Sleeping Beauty princess that I'm used to. Which I guess is why it's a twisted tale and that's why they were doing it, but... And then you've got Philip, who I guess in the film you don't really know his personality, but he just seemed over the top jolly. In comparison to self-deprecating, angsty, moody Sleeping Beauty, you had this massively jolly Prince Philip, and I couldn't see how the two of them were ever gonna, you know, be friends, let alone true love and all of that. It just didn't work. And then as an aside, there's just not enough Merryweather in it, and she is my favourite fairy, she's the blue one. But they also seem to change the characteristics of those fairies around, so Merryweather in the film, from what I remember, it has been a while since I've seen it, she was always the sarcastic one, which is why I like her. And she wasn't in the book. That was Flora, I think it was. Is that the... I can't remember which colour Flora is, but that was Flora, who seemed really sassy and like the whole... So like each fairy had a specific trait that they worked towards, and Flora's was that she was massively brave and sassy and all of this, and Merryweather was that she was the strategic thinker, which worked for the book but not when you've come from watching the Disney film. And I'm imagining that the people, the audience for this, are those who are into Disney and will have watched the film. So as I say, this, not as good as the Beauty and the Beast, and has kind of put me off reading the other ones. Unless a concept of it is really, really good, I'm probably not going to pick any more of these up. Which is a shame, because the Beauty and the Beast one I really did enjoy, and I was surprised about that one, but Once Upon a Dream wasn't for me. And then the last book I read was from my favourite author. Reading one of her books is like having a nice warm hug. The one I read was The Magnificent Mrs. Mayhew by Millie Johnson. I don't know if you can see it, maybe if I lift the camera up, but this shelf, this is basically all Millie up till there. Up to where the grey book is, that is all Millie Johnson pretty much. So yeah, I've read pretty much every one of her books and I always enjoy them despite the fact that they pretty much are all the same story. You know, it's always woman finds herself and in the end finds a man along the way. But I don't care, it's like coming back to an old friend. August hasn't been my favourite month of the year, shall we say, so reading a Millie just made me feel better, basically. Just made me feel happier. This one, Mrs. Mayhew, is a politician's wife. He's really, it's like Secretary for Family Affairs or something like that, and he's trying to be Prime Minister, and he's a bit of an arse. He's very much into his career and doesn't really care for Sophie, Mrs. Mayhew, his wife. I actually think it's probably quite topical. It's probably very dog-eat-dog there, and I imagine extramarital affairs happen quite often, which is one of the key themes. I'm probably not giving anything away. The way that Millie Johnson had written it was that well, not all, John F. Mayhew, he would do anything to get power, so he didn't actually care about his constituents, his people. He just said the right thing at the right time so that he was liked and would get into power. And with the current climate, I mean, I'm not a political person and I'm never going to spat on about politics on this channel, but I imagine that's quite close to home at the moment. The reason why Sophie puts up with a lot of John's rubbishness is because of a school that she went to. It's like a girls' boarding school. And I really hope that doesn't exist in real life. I read a Q&A at the back of the book and she does say it's made up, but I really hope it is probably made up and there isn't some school somewhere teaching women to essentially be doormats, to just do what they can to help their husband be powerful and rich, because that is not the message we want to be sending out to young girls. But yeah, I really hope that school doesn't exist. The other thing that was a personal hit for me was that there was a white cat named Jeff, and he was deaf, and I didn't see it as a cat, so I obviously always saw it as my Jeff, my dog, so that made me smile. And the last thing is that she always writes pretty much all of her books are set in Yorkshire. She does always make it sound really nice, if not wet. I have been to the Dales and I have been to York, but I wouldn't mind exploring maybe further in that. She's certainly sold me on that, you know, the people are friendly and that the scenery's nice and things like that, so I enjoyed it muchly. Probably not to everybody's taste, probably really girly, and once you've read one of Millie's books you pretty much have read them all. Although there is one with mermaids in it somewhere, but I can't remember which one that's called. But I just don't care, basically. I will carry on reading them because they make me feel good. Anyway, as I said, this was only going to be a quick one because Pete wants his office, and hope you've enjoyed it. If you've read any good books this month, please let me know. I'm always up for a recommendation, and I'll see you for the next vlog, which is on Sunday. Just to reiterate, my videos come out on Wednesdays at 5 and Sundays at 11 AM. And if you've liked this video or any of the others and fancy doing the channel a favour, please click subscribe and like and comment and all of that stuff. It just helps push it into other people's feeds and then helps the channel to grow. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you're having a great day whenever you're watching it. Bye!